I'm hoping that Sam can walk me through creating a .NET MAUI Blazor app, and that we can put that around a JavaScript app. I was just going to make generic, ng new Angular app to stick in there. And then once I got the hang of that, I was going to try to stick in, maybe an existing project that I had, but I'm a little confused or curious on the pieces. And then I know Maui's like, what is it, two months away from release? Do you know, Sam?
Yeah.
Is it?
Somewhere around there.
Are we worried like everything's going to change, or like, do you have those concerns? We have no fears?
Oh boy. No, we have lived in the preview world for like over a year now, and there's been a lot of breaking changes, but word on the street is the present preview that we are on should be the last one that's dubbed preview. The next release should be what's called an RC, or a release candidate, which means that beyond that point, no API changes are allowed. So no more breaking, data type changes, anything in the system APIs, everything is locked in, and then it's just improving the quality. They probably have one or two RCs before it's GA, which is general availability or ship to production.
I've heard of RC, but I haven't heard of GA. So is that a general term that everybody uses, and I just haven't heard of it?
More so in the Microsoft world. It's the same thing as in the older days when you used to, print your software on a CD and ship it. That's kind of what it is. It's generally available.
Okay. Well, I want to share what I'm doing. I'm going to put you over. Share my screen, please. Hey, it's going to let me share my screen today. Aren't we the chosen few? All right, put you over there so I can see chat. So I wanted to, and I'll make this ridiculously big. Okay, so I'm thinking, let me see what we have going on here. So I'm going to make a dir for today's session called Maui Wrapper. Is this going to break anything if I do this bits? And then I want to put both projects in here. Do you have a problem with that, or no? Is that a bad? Like if I
you're just organizing your folders. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine.
Then...
But no, don't do. You're doing the Angular thing first. Okay, yeah, go ahead. But before you do .NET MAUI, I was going to chime in. So Angular is totally cool.
Hide that. Okay, what are we asking? You want to enforce strict type checking? Sure, that sounds like something I'm interested in. Would you like to?
What does that do, by the way?
So the strict type checking is just on the TypeScript side of life, and I actually don't ever usually enable it, just because existing projects that I'm on are pretty loosey goosey with the type. With the types, but I feel like as I move, what is it saying? Is it Maui day to day? It is. Yeah, we're going to be doing some .NET. What do you call it? Sam, what's the short, like Maui Blazor? Is that what we say? How do we?
Yes, lots of names. Hybrid Blazor, but yeah, Maui with Blazor.
Okay, so I'm generating this new bit, and you said to hold off on the generating because I was going to go over here and start the .NET new one.
Yeah,
but should I make another? Should I make another one that's like my?
Well, yeah, definitely make another folder like that, and don't create the new project yet, because I wanted to ask you. You're on a Mac, and what are you running? Do you know what .NET are you running? Do a .NET -- version. No, like do a .NET space that version. Yeah.
I thought it would tell me. Like,
yeah, it does. So 6. So you're.
What's wrong with 6?
You're a couple of versions behind.
No, wait, no, pause. How often is this released? There's no way. I just did this, Sam.
No, it's been out. So no big deal. We can get it real quick.
Is this like a monthly thing? How often?
Almost. These are stable .NET releases. Some of them are marked with preview, but this one is a stable release.
I thought this would happen like yearly, but it's a lot.
So Fool is on the same version. So yes and no.
We're .NET version buddies.
Yeah. So .NET 6 is the present production version. .NET 7 will be coming out in November of this year. So there are already previews of .NET 7 starting to show up. But even with .NET 6, there are little like semantic versioning. So 200 was the one that you had like I think for a month or so back. There's been a few security patches, a couple of things they have released. So it's not a major version, it's a minor one. So if you go into just do .net. That's your URL .net.
What are you saying? I don't know what you're saying.
On your address bar, just do .net. Like that's the easiest download.
You want me to do this?
Exactly. It's fancy.
Okay, hang on. Let me save this in my. Don't laugh at me, Sam. Choose another folder. I'm gonna make a
and
new
while you're doing
folder.
that, Fuel is firing off shots.
What did he say? I don't. How is that a shot? I saw that. I was like, how is this a shot that was?
Well,
fired?
it's a realistic shot fire because. And again, I don't work for Microsoft, so don't quote me on it. But .NET MAUI for sure is going to ship sometime by the middle of this year. That's going to be the runtime.
Should I get this preview?
Well, hold on. No, absolutely not.
Why not?
That's going to break your MAUI stuff. No, you can, but don't do it
this
right
one?
now because .NET
this
6.
Says .NET 6, and that's what I'm on.
No, but there's semantic versioning. 6 is the major version. So get the latest .NET SDK X64. So download that. You will see that you are on 6.0.201 or 203, something like that.
What's happening? Did it download? Oh yeah, it's downloading.
It's downloading.
This is so weird because like is there a way of being like is there an NVM for my .NET? So I could just do it through the terminal?
Yes and no. You can do a .NET update, but they don't push this upon you because you might be stuck on something that you don't have in the next preview.
Wait, you're saying I could just say this and it would do it?
I forget exactly the command, but yeah, there is a command line tool to obviously update. And that's how we're going to get the MAUI bits. But they don't push that down onto you.
.NET update, they should. That sounds fancy.
Okay, so can I respond to what Foolish Navel was asking? So my 2 cents is .NET MAUI will be out sometime, by May of this year, but it will be kind of Windows specific. What you and me are doing here, Alyssa, we are kind of the minority of using .NET MAUI on a Mac because the Mac tooling is for sure not ready.
So I've been doing some Women of .NET streams, and I feel you on that, Sam. There's a lot of people who look at me funny, but because you are blazing the way for me, pun totally intended, I feel justified in my Mackiness, right? Like I'm like, you can just back off because Sam does it.
No, you're fine. It's just don't try debugging. That's all. Otherwise, it's all fine. No, but essentially VS Code is what we are using. But Visual Studio for Mac is getting ready for MAUI support. It's just not there yet. And that will likely come with .NET 7.
I'm adding a note for those of you who are wondering what she's doing. Updating your
Fish Devil said just don't mention a year. Just mention Q1, Q2 sometime. That way we're safe.
Yeah, way to jinx it, Sam. Somebody get some timber to knock on. Okay, go to .net and download latest.
This is your learning.net cheat sheet, I see.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yep. Okay. So I downloaded it and then I double clicked it and I ran through the installer. But now do I have like a way of
hold on? Do a .NET version. So did the installer finish its thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it did, and then I moved it to trash.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, does it automatically? I thought I would have to tell it to switch to it because with like Node, you can like list out your versions. Is there a way of like doing?
Yes,
that?
You can go back to 200, but by default, now that you have 201 installed, that's where it starts out. You can specify which exact runtime you want to use.
And there's really that big of a difference between these two versions?
No, it's just the .NET MAUI bits now depend on 201, so that's why I wanted to make sure you got the latest bits.
Okay, cool. So can I say this?
No, not yet. All right. So, but you're on the right track. So do a .NET workload.
.NET. You want me to say this?
Workload update.
Update. Oh, this is super important stuff. Hang on. Don't go anywhere, Sam.
Yes, and SMAB UK saying .NET info will tell you as well.
Oh, no way. Hang on. I gotta do that real quick. And then I'll do this one. .NET info. Wait, dash. Oh,
I forget
info.
what it shows
Oh,
you, but yeah,
let's do
also
full
these are
screen.
the different runtimes. This is actually very good. So it shows you what you have.
This is so cool. Okay, I'm gonna do this, and then I'm gonna do the workload update, and then I'm gonna put that in the center, and then I'm gonna go over here, and then I'm gonna add a tip, helpful tip.
Version tells you the default version that every new app is going to use because that's the latest one that you have. Info tells you all the runtimes.
You said a lot of words just now. Hang on. Hold on, Sam. You talk really fast. 1 second. Sam said that version tells you something, and info will tell you your versions.
No, version tells you the latest default runtime.
Okay, but you said runtime. But if we go back over to this guy and check it out and scroll up where it listed it out, it's calling them SDKs. Is it a runtime or is it an SDK?
It's both. Well, there are multiple things kind of mixed into
You can't
this.
say it's both.
Well, no. It's listing you the runtimes right there. You see that?
So I don't care about the SDKs. We're talking about these down here.
Okay, so runtimes are the framework pieces. SDKs are the pieces you use to build the apps.
Okay, hang on. Here's what we're gonna do, Sam. Because I promised you I wouldn't rabbit hole you. Later with Sam. Okay, so difference between runtime and SDK. Also, are we scared about the RC? Okay, cool. We'll get into that then.
This is actually a good way of thinking about a SMAB UK saying, like, think of it as the ringtones on your phone, and there's a JSON file that controls which ringtone you want to use. That you can also control like which person calls your phone and which ringtone it uses. So you can also specify like for .NET MAUI use this runtime versus that and so on. Too much.
Yep, it's too hard. Also, inadequate permissions.
Yeah, it's just sudo the thing.
Like this?
No, at the beginning. So sudo .NET workload update.
Like this?
Yes, and transfer password.
I can almost. SDK is what you compile. Runtime is the program runs on. Hold on, SMAB.
Runtime is also the core framework of what your program is running on. SDK is what gives you the rights to have the right way to compile, and also all the bits and pieces for your app to run on a specific platform. So like there's an iOS SDK, there's an Android SDK, there's a Mac and a Windows, and they are kind of all combined into one SDK for MAUI. So those are SDKs or workloads. And then SDKs also have workloads. So
are these going to stick around?
Yeah, they've always been here.
Like they're not going to go away with the .NET 7?
No, these are core things. And each SDK is also made up of smaller workloads. And sometimes they use the SDK and workload a little interchangeably, but for the most part, they're kind of one-on-one. So for example,
you know about this, what he's talking about? You see what Fuel said down here? Did you get bitten as well, Sam?
Let me see.
Because I'm super curious how you fix something like that. Because if you can't compile,
I haven't updated today, so I am not sure, and I wasn't sure they were pushing out anything new today. That's interesting.
Wait, is this one of those? They pushed out something new today, and you just had me download it, and we're going to run into it. Did we just do this again?
No, it'll be fine. But anyways, we'll figure it out. I didn't know they were pushing anything new. So SMAB UK was actually talking about ringtones in a different way, but it's a way of thinking maybe.
It said it did it.
One phone,
It said it did it, and look, it was uninstalling stuff too. That's cool, right?
Mm-hmm. So essentially, the MAUI SDK is built up of some smaller workloads. So now, just to make sure, we're going to do a sudo .NET workload install MAUI. So this will just clean up and just make sure you have the latest workloads installed. Looks like you are, or maybe just let it go a little bit.
Is it doing something? I can't. Okay, yes, it's doing. Oh, is it running? I don't know what it's doing. Okay, yeah, it's running.
Yep.
Successfully installed workload MAUI.
Well
So
done.
did that actually do something then?
Do you want to know how this is all wired up? Because this might be interesting. So go to your Finder. I'm going to try to pull up a thing here for you so you know where this is going. Okay. So go to View, go to USR, like the user folder, which sometimes is hidden. Not the users, but
there's a hotkey to do this. Let me know if chat says it, because otherwise I'm gonna have to like
just like go to like View or go to.
I forget. How do I get to the? Because zip is my root, and then I go into this guy, and then users here, and then I'm in bin lib blah blah.
Okay,
blah.
yeah, no, you're already in. Okay, so you are looking at a hidden folder. Okay, now go into local, and then go into. I'm trying to read your screen here. Share. And go into. You should have a folder called .NET.
I have a folder called .NET.
There you go. All right, so open that up a little bit so we can see. Okay, go into SDK manifests. Okay, so you see that for the SDKs, you have two now. You got, go to the SDK folder one time. So you got 200 and 201, right? So now if you go into 201 in the SDK and scroll over, you should see MAUI, maybe.
Under this? Wait,
Yeah,
no, it'd
you
be
don't have
above
a folder
that.
called MAUI.
But in this one, do I have? I don't have it one in either one. So maybe it's like nestled into something. Current.
No, that's extensions. Hold on, let me see where it's on mine.
Post.
Then I can tell you right away.
MAUI current. I'm gonna make you bigger because I can. Because I can. I wonder if I do this view. Or
oh, okay. I'm sorry. Go back into .NET, just the .NET folder.
I was going to try to make this bigger for everybody to see. .NET folder.
Go into
this
packs.
One.
Yep, packs.
Packs.
All right, and widen that up. You're going to see Microsoft.MAUI.
Wait. Is this all the things I can build to?
Yeah, so look into these are all the things that you can build. But I have a folder called Microsoft.MAUI.SDK.
Microsoft.MAUI.SDK.
Now go into that.
Preview,
SDK. And so these are all the bits. These are all the runtimes. And let me show you the one that I'm using. And then go into the SDK manifest folder.
I don't see that.
No, not yet. Go back into where PAX was. So these are all the runtime pieces. Go back to where the PAX was in the .NET folder.
I understand.
SDK
manifests 6.
Go into 200 and then.
How come I don't have 201 on this? Because didn't I just download the one?
Yeah, maybe you haven't just built anything with .NET MAUI, so it doesn't have it. But look into that workload manifest JSON file.
You want me to open this guy?
Open that. Don't touch it. Don't like change anything. But if you make it bigger, that's going to tell you what you're using. So this has the mapping of I'm using .NET MAUI preview this with this particular SDK and this particular runtime. And you can mix and match. You can change it up, but you sometimes get in trouble if you do that too much. Yeah, that's where it is.
Wait, so do you change this? Do you change that file?
Oh, the tiger is making.
What are they saying? What are they saying?
Like to touch the file. Like no, don't touch the file.
Touch it. Let the Lord of Chaos rule. Yes.
Anyways,
Okay.
but you should have all the bits now. So go into a folder where you are ready to start up .NET MAUI app.
New. Forget how to do this. Maui
MAUI Blazor,
Blazor.
MAUI-Blazor. Yep.
And then I don't name it here. I just right.
You're already in the folder, so it'll just create all the files in the folder itself.
Okay. It said it was created successfully, but like what? That was super fast.
It is. Yeah. It's just spitting out some files. It's super fast. Okay, so open this up in VS Code. Like, I don't know if you have like code, like dot. Yeah, there we go, VS Code. All right, so now you should look at .NET MAUI project. So look at MAUI program.
We need a color. A stream. What color do we want this project to be forevermore? Someone say a color. No one's saying anything. You want me to open?
This is actually a good way of thinking as well. Airline analogy. Runtime is the things that you use to run the planes, gas, runway, plane itself. SDK is something like manufacturing the units of the plane. Yeah.
Purple. We're already in purple, darn you. All right, fine. I'll go find a prettier purple. Colors. Grab the first purple I come across. Oh, I don't have a purple. Sam, do you have a purple? We'll just grab this purple because that's glorious, and you all will have to stare at it. Okay, so this one I think is the hotkey. There it is, and that's the whoops. Peacock.
Whoa, what is the hotkey? This is new to me.
Command Option P. No, Command Shift P. Command Shift P.
But like, how are you switching? What is Peacock?
Peacock is an extension for VS Code so that you can, and yes, I will make your eyes bleed until someone sends me a better hex code, but it saves it in settings. So each time you open up the project, it'll be that color. And it not only makes this bar that color, but it kind of themes the rest of it off of that color. But it's really helpful, especially whenever you're like teaching or you're like speaking and you have multiple projects. Yes. So that you're not like coding in the wrong one. Okay. So we've got, this is our MAUI Blazor bud. And where do you stick stuff? Like if you wanted to wrap it?
Well, let's first check. Look into your MAUI program.cs.
MAUI program.cs.
Last file in your solution, last file. Okay, let's, can you make that a little bigger? Just maybe collapse the solution a little bit. I just want to make sure it's, no, like on the left, collapse that a little bit. There you go. Okay, so I just want to make sure you got the Blazor web view and the services being registered. So that's good. Okay, now go into your www root. Now you do understand like what's going on here, right? This is a MAUI project. It's all native, but it's using a web view to give you a little island of web stuff, right? That's what we're doing.
Yeah, so I do. I just don't understand where. So like, I don't understand what project is the one that's like the root that's pointing to, and this is this view, load the Blazor web view here. Like, is that this file or is there?
Well, it's a combination. So let's actually walk through. So this project, this app is going to be a .NET MAUI app, right? There's nothing web about it yet. But what it does is in your MAUI program, it's saying, hey, I'm going to register a web view so that my app, based on if I'm running on iOS or Android or Windows or Mac, knows how to get the corresponding web view and render it, right? So that's all this MAUI program setup is doing. Beyond that, you will notice that you have like, look into your app, XAML.cs. That's kind of where the program bootstraps. After it passes through MAUI program, it says, okay, let's initialize myself. And main page is kind of a construct that says, what is the first view of my app? Like, what's the first page? You know, be it a desktop or a mobile app, every app is a collection of pages, right? So we are trying to decide which is the first page. And it says, okay, let's new up a new page. And if you go to main page.xaml, so main page essentially pointed you to this page. This is the first view of your page. And you see the content page on top, that is a .NET MAUI construct. That's a XAML page that you're rendering, except, folks like you and Ed don't want to do XAML, and I get it. So this is all the XAML you should have to see, because beyond that, what it's saying is that Blazor web view, that's what it's rendering, right? So it's the entire page is taken up by the web view, and what we are saying is everything inside of it is going to be a web view, and whatever the web view provides navigation wise, it's all going to be in there. So what it's doing
it's
right
weird that you have access to this right here,
now,
but let me show you this. Why? See this?
Mm-hmm.
That's not here.
Because it's not needed. You
but
can make things
it's
like global.
using it though. I don't understand how it has access to it.
Okay, go back to what you were showing me. Which
This
one
guy?
are you talking about?
Well, because it says MAUI Blazor, and so like, how am I getting a Blazor web view if I'm not using
MAUI Blazor is the name of your project. That's literally what you named your project.
Oh.
So you could call it whatever, and it's going to stick in. Like you see the data folder up there. So all the files in the data folder have that namespace. That's why.
Oh, so who gives us access then to this actual view right here?
Well, you're registering the web view, but again, the chat room is pointing out, if you go to the CS proj, you're going to notice that it's a Razor style project as well. So it knows how to render things written in Razor. So MAUI Blazor.cs proj. Up top, you see that project SDK. It's not just Microsoft.NET SDK, which is what you will have for a straight up .NET and XAML project. This also has the Razor bits in it. So it knows how to render Blazor components.
If I included our component library in here.
Define our, like as in Telerik or Kenda UI component libraries, web or Blazor. Which one are you talking about? Angular? What are we talking about?
Blazor or MAUI desktop E. But I wanted to use it like
means different things. So be very specific.
Okay, so if I wanted to use the component library that Telerik makes for desktop, and then I wanted to use
desktop?
it.
Which desktop? Because we make things for Mac. We make things for. Okay, the only thing we make for a Mac is really .NET MAUI, and that kind of runs on a Mac by default. Hey, Vindel. Hello.
We make for Mac is .NET MAUI. Yes, which I'm in a .NET MAUI project.
That's native. That's native on desktop or Mac desktop, anyways. If you say Windows, then it has a bunch of other connotations. Like, is it from WPF? Is it for WinUI? Is it for UWP? Is it for Blazor? It's a lot of different things.
So if I wanted to use it on this, where is it? Where were we? Wait, this one? Main? No, this one. And I wanted to just like slap in a button right here. Would I include that in my CS proj like this somehow, and then my whole project would have access to it? Or do I treat this similar to like an Angular component, and each code behind file gets an import?
You can do both. So essentially what you're looking at is, so in the C# world, you have XAML file, which is essentially the visual tree. XAML is kind of like XML, and you're describing the visual tree of how that page looks like. And by default, it has a code behind, which is the XAML and then XAML.cs file. The code behind file, you notice it's a partial class because at runtime, it puts together the visual tree and the code behind all together into one, and it knows how to render. So up here, you see things like namespace. You can have your own usings, which are specific to that component, that page, right? And then nobody else will have access to it. But you can also, you're also free to make things like a global thing, and in which case every other component will also have access to a class.
So would you call this a global thing? That
this one is not.
Everybody has.
This is a CS project. This is more like a listing of all the project dependencies. But if you go into your MAUI,
and that's what a component library is, a project dependency.
Yeah. So if you're bringing in like a Telerik .NET MAUI reference, then you will add it here in CS proj.
And would it say project and then SDK equals, and then this would be some sort of Telerik-y?
No, this is the project style. This is the .NET MAUI project style. What you will do is if you scroll down this page a little bit, you're going to see other references, which, I mean, it probably doesn't have to.
What are they? What is the reference? Like path? This one?
Right there,
Like
use
that?
that package reference, exactly. So this is kind of like Node, or this is NuGet in the Microsoft
I
Word. So that's a
see.
dependency you're bringing
Okay.
down.
So I'm making this as a note because I want to I know we have so many different component libraries that we could include. And so I just wanted to like walk through that with you at some point, just so I can see like, and now we have a button. Cause I think that's like going to be really key for me understanding like how .NET works, like, you know, like how it pulls in things and knows about them and shares them and dependencies and things. So I think that'll be a really good one to, okay. So this guy has our Blazor web view. So if I had to guess, we're going to point to our Angular app inside of here. But the weird part is like, do we also shove the built Angular app into our W root folder or something? You know, like is it
Okay.
also
So
there?
by default, here's what it's doing, right? So what it's pointing to is saying, hey, I am a web view, and let me go find the root component of my Blazor app, because this is essentially, you started out doing Maui and Blazor, and you and me are the only two people in the world who care about putting Angular in a Maui app, right? So we are a little bit off the mainstream, but that's all right. But what it's essentially telling you here is go find the main Razor component. That's a Blazor, and that is sitting right there called main.razor. See in your solution. Sorry, Alyssa's going to give us some background music now.
So main.razor.
While we're talking, Code Rush rated us. Hello, Code Rush.
Oh, hey, Raiders. I didn't see you. Hi.
Oh, and we have been just so busy talking. Jason Lenstroff rated us with Bardio. So thank you. I appreciate all of you. Yeah.
You said what did you say? Something about main?
Okay, so
I don't
go
see it.
look at main.razor, which is a file right above your main page. That doesn't have anything, but essentially what it's saying is go find the Blazor default routing engine. And if you now go and look into www.root, you'll see an index.html file. You see that right there. It's kind of highlighted. So it has some CSS, but this is the primary HTML file of your Blazor app, right? So there's a div tag right there called div ID app that says loading ... That is where your Blazor app is loaded up. That's the entire div tag that holds your Blazor app. Make sense? You're looking very angry or confused.
Where's the code behind for this index file?
That doesn't have a code behind. It's not a XAML file. It's an HTML file.
Where's the logic file for this HTML file?
When you say logic file, it doesn't even have a JavaScript file. I mean, it has some references right there. You
Somebody is hijacking this div and slapping some content in there. Who's doing that?
Yes. Who? This would be a great question for our good friend Ed, but hold on, I'm getting a call. But you see that webview.js down there at the bottom? That JavaScript file does a little bit of magic. And essentially,
no, I don't see it. WebView where? What?
The script reference at the bottom of this page.
Nope.
What? At the bottom of this page. Framework
this?
underscore.
Oh.
So that's doing a little bit of the magic of JavaScript versus .NET Interop. Alyssa knows .NET. Alyssa is amazing at learning .NET, and she teaches us .NET.
The index file is the same as in a Blazor app. Okay, right. See, Smab's come in with the assumption that I know what a Blazor app's doing. I love you. You're adorable for thinking that. Okay, so so Sam, if this is in fact where our bits are being loaded, how does
Blazor bits are being loaded?
How does Alyssa shove a whole entire Angular app inside of this div?
Well, we're not going to care about that because this index.html file is just for Blazor. Okay. Now let me show you the happy path, and then we can kind of break this down.
Okay.
So while you're on this file, go ahead and rename that index.html to something else. Like call it like Blazor index.html. Yep. Now go back to where your Angular project was. Did that finish?
Yeah,
during
he's
this
done
time?
that. I haven't built him yet. Do I need to build him so we have a?
Yes. So let's see.
I forget how to build ng. What is it?
ng build, but you want to do like a production build. So I think it's
Oh, I'm
dash
not
dash
in the
prod.
project. That's why.
Okay. ng build dash dash prod. I keep saying dash dash. I feel like I'm old school. There must be an easier way of saying it.
Build dash dash prod.
Yeah.
Okay. Wait, what does it want? Google's privacy. Yeah, always, man. Share those analytics.
Take all of it. I don't have any privacy.
I do not. I told my husband, I was like, what would it be like to just permanently stream? Like everything, all of life.
It's the Truman. What's the movie? Truman.
The Truman Show.
Show?
I
Truman
loved that movie. Oh my god. Oh, loved. I love. But currently, it's not gone. It's here with us.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is
all
building for us.
ESM stuff. This is all the JavaScript interrupt, right? Or compatibility things.
What are you talking about? Oh, this goodness, the ECMAScript stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. ASM 2015. Does anybody in chat know what's going on with that? Is that like 2015?
I think it's compatibility, right? From
is that where we're where we're going, like
JavaScripts or where we were before.
Release 2019. Because I don't know. As far as oh god, I just scrolled really far. Because I'm assuming it's like. What is this? Is like essentially a polyfill for ECMAScript kind of thing. Probably. So we did build it, which means it's now. Where am I? I'm inside of test, inside of dist.
Can you open this up in Finder? Because it did build. Yeah.
Can I do this?
Well, by the way, I told you, like at in 18 minutes from now, my little Kraken comes back home from school, and I have to get him from the bus. But I don't have to because I can actually hear the wife come back home as well, so we're good.
I am gonna do my best to not. We're gonna do it. We're gonna wrap the app in it, and then I'll schedule another one for all my questions.
No. That's what I'm saying. Like I don't have a hard stop. Yeah.
Oh, okay. We have. Sorry.
Okay.
I was
and
inside
can we answer this for a second? Hold on before you do that. JLit, or why is it useful embedding Angular app? Because it's like it's gorgeous, pedantically just try something else because nobody does this.
Well,
but
like
no,
also
we're not...
like if you want to get your Angular app on a desktop, like.
Exactly.
This is going to be an amazing solution.
We are not doing anything with Blazor anymore, right? So essentially, we are just utilizing the fact that we get a web view, and now we can shove anything inside of it, like any Angular, React, or anything else, because it's there.
Because it's there. Oh,
because we can.
Okay, so here's where we are. We're inside a MAUI wrapper, and we have test, which
is
our
this your
Angular.
Angular project? Yes.
Test is Angular, and MAUI Blazor is our MAUI Blazor project. So we go inside of this and look inside of dist, and then that's where we have test.
Yes. Now, go inside of test and grab everything. So this has the polyfill, which I don't know exactly what it
Can't
does.
we just grab test and like copy this folder?
No, you'll actually need those individual files.
You don't want it
not within a folder. Yeah.
Okay, I copied them, and now I'm gonna go and open up
something.
Go into
MAUI Blazor.
New and go into development and JavaScript girl wrapper, this guy, and inside you said it was in our root.
Inside root. Yeah, just dump it in there.
Seriously?
Yep.
You mean you just put it in here?
Mm-hmm.
That
you
sounds...
probably have an overwriting favicon, but otherwise it should paste.
Doesn't that sound like super dirty to just paste it right in there?
It's replace, because you saved off the Blazor file, right? All right, now go into your VS Code.
Oh, this.
Go into your VS Code. What? Yeah, your VS Code. Let's see. Got it. Why? Exactly.
It's supported when you can fly the. Yeah.
Exactly.
I know.
Okay, so you see the Blazor index file here. This was what God intended, or Microsoft intended you to use, but you don't want to use that. Now look into the index.html file that you have now. Look into just the index now. This is your Angular index file, right?
Yep.
And this
Yep.
has all the things so you can kind of deploy an Angular app wherever you want. So it has, all of your references. I don't even understand what polyfill or what the runtime references
So
do.
this is
Do you know?
essentially what I'm assuming the what the Blazor one was doing.
Exactly, that's the root, like the div tag, yeah.
Where all of our routes are going to be plumped. But I'm kind of like, okay, so to see all of this, can we do we just say .NET run or?
No. Everything is going to explode or your computer is going to catch fire. So let's fix up a couple of things.
Okay.
Most importantly, your one line of code. That's all we need. So go into your main page .xaml, which is the first page. I see chatroom has a couple of interesting things which we'll read, but let's get this working.
Oh, yeah. Main page.xaml. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, right there. So you do want the Blazor web view, but instead of Blazor, we want that to render Angular, right? So keep that, but everything that you see, no. Okay. So everything that you see inside of the web view, where you have two web views now. Yeah, get rid of one.
Command / is not commenting, and that's very upsetting to me.
I know. I noticed that. It's something about what VS Code latest updates did it, but command / is not commenting, which is very weird.
How does?
Well, get rid of one web view. No, that's not it. This is XAML. You have to be
How
a
do you
little old
comment?
school. I will show you. Get rid of the one web view though, because we have two, and we're gonna get confused. What is this thingy? This is Peacock doing it for you, like the.
This is a what is this called?
Boy.
It's
Oh boy.
It actually comes with like a lot more pizzazz that I disabled. Like it'll give you like
a lot of pizzazz.
No, this is the minimal amount of pizzazz. It's just an extension I'm using.
See, and we're not the only ones. Others have actually seen that it's not commenting.
No, I just wanted to save it, Sam, so I could see what it originally was. So I was trying to comment.
We're not going to delete anything. We can just get rid of one. We're not deleting anything. So what you want to do is right where it says b Blazor web view .root components. You want to do this. I'm gonna post this in chat. So what you want to do is this, and then
I bet Lana Lux is like extra. She's got so much time. Okay, so this is a bang, and then a bit of bang.
That's how you comment XAML.
How we comment in XAML.
No, hold on. You don't want to end it there. You do want the ending Blazor web view. Just end. You want to not read the root component. So end it one line above. Yep.
Oh,
we do want the web view. Yes. Okay,
right.
There you go.
Obviously, that was super silly of me. I want to say something like this. Angular.
No, you don't even have to. You don't have to. We're good.
What?
No, we don't have to. So let's take a little pause and see what we are doing here.
You're saying because this host page is pointing to an index file and my index file is still named index is going to link it in?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
No, Sam.
Yes.
What?
Because it's all static. You have already built your app.
Oh my gosh, I want to see it. Can I run it?
Yes. Do you have the Mac Catalyst build or the iOS build? No, you don't. Okay.
What do you want me to do? I don't know.
You need to build. You need to build your app.
No, we can just run it without building, right?
Well, that's what I meant. Like build and run it. So .NET build.
Oh, I see. .NET build, and then I have this one saved full screen. But instead of the 6, do I need to say like point blah 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 blah?
No, that's it. It's all good. That's the runtime. Look at that. It's building.
Is it? You're so confident. I'm like, let's wait for it to blow up.
Did you pay like homage to the demo gods?
I winked at them. I think that counts, right? Like, quick wink. Is it? Okay, so
it's doing its build. Actually, you see when the app ID comes up, that's when you know that it's successfully compiled your app, and now it's going on and talking to Xcode.
So we have to build because it's a desktop thingy, and then once it's built, we can run it. Because webby things you can just run, like you don't have to build.
Yeah, no, this is desktop. Do you see that? So that's your test Angular app running inside a desktop. I'm glad I can make you so happy.
It was so easy. funny. Did you see that? And it's all like, I'm in root and I'm an index and this is my angular. And it's like, yes. Wait a minute. Let's go back. Let's go back and look. Okay, so this is like a webby bit here, right here.
Mhm.
But it didn't do anything, like change this to
No,
that.
because the title of the page doesn't really show up, and the title of because like your page is inside of a wrapper, and what you're seeing is the name of the title bar, that's the name of the app itself,
Right. This
not
is
the
like,
title of the page.
so.
Okay, so hold on. There were a couple of fun things
the
that
chat.
I
Let's check
saw
out.
in the chat. Doing JavaScript, yeah, kind of. We are trying to do some JavaScript. I'm learning. Oh boy, Silverlight. No, it wouldn't be so Silverlight is the whole like plugins thing. We don't want to do that. That doesn't scale for modern web. So this is bringing
I
in
think they were
anything
saying whenever they mentioned that, I think they were saying that like what we're doing, because like they were talking about the point of using a wrapper. So I think they're saying for their purposes they could also use it. This, Sam, see how like even like I'm a little mystified by this. Because even like the animations and stuff are working.
Yeah, because everything is, when you built your Angular app, you built it with everything in it. So all the routing, everything that your app depends on,
but
should
it's
be
like
there.
this MAUI Blazor thing is acting like a browser.
It is a browser. Because if you look at it is a browser. If you look at your main page.xaml, that's a browser you essentially asked it to render.
Let's go find out what you just said. Main page.xaml.
You see that Blazor web view? That's a browser. That's a browser component. So which is why it doesn't care. It's not married to Blazor. It just doesn't care. It will render whatever HTML, JavaScript, CSS you give it.
Yeah, G Leader said, isn't this the same as using Electron or Ionic? Except it's better. Tell them why, Sam.
With some very key differences. Okay. And I've actually delved into this quite a bit. So you're absolutely right. It's very similar, but with some nuanced differences. So what J Litter is talking about is Electron.js, which essentially gives you a wrapper so that you can render web stuff onto desktop things. Like this very thing you're looking at, VS Code, that's an Electron app. VS Code is entirely a web-based editor. You're just looking at it on your desktop because it's an Electron app. So you can absolutely do that. The only two things Electron does differently is it actually ships with Node.js. So that's kind of your runtime. And it also ships with a version of Chromium, which is the browser components. You always have like a fixed base or version of Edge or Chromium to render things on. This one doesn't do it. .NET MAUI literally depends on your users to be a sophisticated user. That the fact that they have some sort of a evergreen browser, because you don't install the browser component, you don't update that. It's entirely up to the user. So, wait, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Okay, you scared me with some red stuff. Okay, this is not MAUI.
Nope.
So yeah, so that's the key difference, right? Electron is a little bit more, hands-on, and it packs a punch because it gives you those deep, OS integrations. Like you can go out of process and do services and stuff like that. .NET MAUI is much more lightweight. And when you say Ionic, like that's a Ionic is kind of a web framework. Like, what did you mean by Ionic? Do Ionic apps run on desktop? Because I thought they ran on desktop as a PWA. I don't think Ionic is quite the same as Electron. It's not the web sandbox. That's also true. So what SMAB UK is talking about, Alyssa, is if you took your Angular app and if you made it a progressive web app and you ran it on desktop, which you can, then you will absolutely be in a web sandbox. While this, you are running it as a native app, so you can step a little outside of the sandbox and go do other things if you wanted to.
What can you define what another thing would be?
Okay, and this is where you're going to notice the differences here.
Are you talking about like saving something to the file system, like that kind of other thing, or no?
Anything you want to access, device cameras, geolocation, accelerometer, going off and talking to a different process. All of that is possible because now it's in a .NET MAUI native app. But here's the little bit of a but. Like the way it was intended to build is Blazor running on top of .NET MAUI is so much of a better experience than what you and me will do with Angular, because Blazor and .NET MAUI run on the same runtimes. That's .NET 6. So it can very naturally come out of the web sandbox and do native things. For you and your Angular app to talk to .NET, it's not pretty. You have to write what's called an interop, because you have to flatten the types for .NET and JavaScript to talk to each other. Like, for example, if you wanted to have an Angular view.
Oh my God, what you're saying sounds so cool. You got to talk slower.
I actually haven't played enough with it. I will do more. But for your Angular JavaScript code to talk to .NET MAUI native code, you have to write what's called a JS interop. So you have to flatten the .NET methods and all the data types and expose it out to JavaScript, and the other way around if you want .NET MAUI to call into Angular. Yeah, complicated.
So it sounds amazing. Hang on, I'm writing all of this down. This is on my Later with Sam episode. Later with Sam, talk more about interops. Okay, so I am going to do something while I didn't know if there was anything else in chat. I am going to do something.
Yeah, no, a couple of things. I think full Schnabel, I think this is still lightweight because you might run Angular or React or any other web stuff.
Did someone call this not lightweight?
It's lighter than Electron, at least. So here's when I say the weight. So when you build up the app, right? When you're ready to deploy it, what is the size of the app, right? And what's the memory footprint of the app? So those are the two things on which I think .NET MAUI will still come out lighter, because it's not shipping with Node.js. It doesn't have anything Node on it. So and also it doesn't have Chromium. It's depending on the OS to have a web view of sorts. How do I say your screen name? KRRA184. Can I use this elevated permissions on Windows, accessing hardware stuff that we do from Windows Forms app? Yes, absolutely, you can. But you're going to have to, declare those intentions as permissions on Windows. And yes, I mean, there's nothing stopping you. When you're running this on Windows, you're running it as a full-on .NET desktop app, and you have full rights as a desktop application. You can, talk to other processes. You can go, look up, service workers or anything else that you have just beyond the app itself. All right, Kira is fine. Good to know. Okay, Alyssa, you look very serious.
I am about to do something crazy. Are you ready?
What? Do tell.
Okay, so I just made a new app called, oh no, I forgot I have to build. Oh well, we'll do it in a minute. Okay, so I made a new app called Progress, and then not Progress.
What type of app did you build?
MAUI Blazor app that I made, and I'm gonna go to it right now if I can remember where it is. No, it's not in that. It's in development, and then JavaScript Girl, and then MAUI. I called it My Little Pony. And then inside of that, I made a new app. And so in here, I have to go into the root, and I deleted the index.
Wait, inside of that, what did you do? Because
paste
it doesn't actually have an index HTML here. Oh, you're dropping something.
I deleted it. I just deleted it. And then I'm dropping
What is this you're dropping?
It's my Little Pony app.
Oh, no. Are we ready for this?
I don't know. Why are you knowing me?
Abort quickly.
Oh, we got this, dude.
I'm
just gonna run it.
This.
It's totally fine. I don't know.
Did you comment out the root component, the Blazor root component?
No.
Okay, stop your build because your computer is going to catch fire.
Okay.
So you see the number of red
it's not
things
this one. It's this one. And then I forgot about that step.
Yes.
Hang on.
Because otherwise, it's going to go look for the Blazor root component, not find anything, and just complain a lot.
Go away. Go away. Okay, so this is what I'm commenting out. Can I just delete it on this one, since that's
Sure.
what we're all
Sure.
about? And then I can rerun that, and then that was
Did
the
you
only
save
steps,
the-
right?
Did you save the file though?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Not this one.
Now
one.
tell me about My Little Pony. What are you bringing in? Because I know nothing about
Oh, we should probably fear. It's my
it. Is it
big
built
guy.
though? Like, did you do a build on that?
I did. It
Okay,
has
okay.
a lot of Kendo UI components, like a lot.
Oh no.
It's the
Okay.
Tour of Heroes for Angular, and I redid it with My Little Pony theme, and I pulled in like half the Kendo UI library, which is like
Wow.
50 components. So
How are they referenced? Is it all JavaScript? And it's working.
Oh my god! 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 Does the drag and drop even works? Oh my gosh! Does the hover effect? Look, see my ponies popping? My ponies be popping. You see him, Sam?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Okay, so I have a really big problem with the way that, and then if you scroll here, these are like live views of each of these components. Like you can like, it's not a screenshot. It's like actually that component is right there. So you can like scroll down through the years and see all of each version that we released. But question, Sam, everything's really, really tiny. Is there a way in Maui to be like, make everything 50% bigger? Because that's what I want to do.
Yes, but it's gonna have an effect on all the native components, while none of this is really native because you're rendering it inside of a web view. Are you doing anything?
Why does it look this small? Because whenever I serve up this app in a browser, it's not this small. At least I don't remember it being this small. Do we want to go prove that theory real quick, or do you have words of advice on such a subject?
No, because like Maui isn't doing anything with your fonts. It might be
not fonts, like everything. Everything looks small.
What it might be trying to do is just fit the whole app inside of that web view, but otherwise, like unless you have any specific things in your app, it's not going to mess with any fonts or any sizing.
Okay, so I'm going to serve this up real quick, and then we'll go open it in the browser, and then we'll just do like a quick side-by-side just to see, because I feel like I'm doing something wrong, Sam. Like this is so tiny. What's chat saying?
It looks perfect for my eyes, my resolution.
Because you've got like amazing eyes.
All the resolution.
Oh, it's so angry. What the? Hang on. I think it's because of my node version. NVM. What is it? I forget how you ask. LS. But yeah, flip. Does anybody in chat know how to set the defaults again? Because it's like NVM.
See, you're doing the same things in NVM that I did with .NET. Same thing.
I guess, but I have NVM to do it, so I can do it through the terminal.
Well,
so like,
we have a
JSON
file. Yeah, it's not as easy for us.
I need to set like my system to be on that, because every time I open a new window, it's on 14.2. So if chat tells me how to do that, let me know, Sam.
What is 14.2? How do you know?
So like I just said NVMLS to list out all of my node versions, and it's saying, oh, you're on version 14.2.
Oh, well, that's nice. It's kind of pointing it out with an arrow.
Yeah, that 16.10 is what I really want to be on. So then I just told it NVM use 16.10, but it's only going to use it for this instance of my terminal window. And I need it to, or maybe it's per project. Is it per project? Is
there like a config or a JSON somewhere?
Oh, I bet it's per project. Hang on. Is it running?
Yeah.
It is running. Okay, so this means we can go to the browser at 4200. And then it's going to be zoomed in because I zoom in for the stream. So we're going to put it side by side and zoom out to normal length. Okay, so see how dashboard, like the font size here initially, like already, even things like top heroes. Let's go back to dashboard, and so you can see it side by side.
Yeah, maybe just like the zooming level is different. Like the default.
It's just weird because this is because this is 0. This is 100% on Chrome. But if we go down to 67%, maybe a little bit bigger, that's closer to what we're at. Yeah. Because if I make this line up with it, Yeah,
That's
we're
about
almost
right.
at
So I think it's just
75%.
the
So I'm like,
default zooming is different.
default
I
zooming. So
yeah,
this
I
is like
don't
a
know.
desktop thing, right? Like
Yeah.
do you do this on desktop apps? Do you ever say now zoom in 25%, or you don't do that? Like it's not a thing. You just make your font sizes larger to account for it.
Yes, yeah. There is no like default like zooming. Although I mean, you could like now you're getting into like some of the accessibility things, and I mean each control can zoom in, and the whole thing can be bigger or smaller. But in general, for a desktop app, it's all controlled through like a system-wide font or like an app-wide font or a library resource library. But I
Okay.
think what you're looking at is just the Blazor web view default zooming of the app is a little different from what you see on the web.
And so for like to
Yeah,
go and
so
fix it, do you think I would do that in a Blazory
for the
way, or do you think
overload.
I would fix it in a Maui way?
Um, Wait, say that again.
For fixing the zoom, would I do that in a Blazory way, or would I do that in a Maui way?
Well, neither actually, because like you're trying to control how zoomed in the web app is. So actually,
Yeah.
Kira had a good point. Like it maybe if there is a way to control the dimensions of the web view itself. So let's do this. Like go to .NET MAUI docs. Let's take a look and see if they have anything.
I'm going to put this
On a
over
browser.
back here, and then I'm going to go back over. We have these up. Do you want me to do something
No, that's
special?
.NET. Yeah, just do a search on .NET MAUI docs.
Do a search for .NET MAUI. What?
.NET MAUI docs, like documentation.
Oh, you're saying in Chrome.
Yeah. Okay, now let's go look at user interface. User interface.
Animation brushes, controls, pop-ups, graphics,
controls.
images.
Let's do controls. Let's find the web view.
Layouts, pages, views.
Views. Present data.
Present data. Blazor web view.
Blazor web view. Yep. Look at that. See if they expose any properties of that.
Host page, root component selector, component type parameters, iDictionary.
I don't know if it has a. No, this is all the default stuff.
So it would be a Blazory thing, right?
Kind of, but I mean, because this is meant for Blazor, anyways. Yeah, I don't know. Like dimension-wise, what you are doing is essentially, letting that web view take over the entire, all the pixels of the app, and render its web app. So, do you have the .NET MAUI app running? Like, can you like if you make the app window bigger, does it zoom out?
I don't know what you just asked. You want me to go to my .NET MAUI app and zoom out?
Yeah. So can you make this window as big as possible?
That's as big as it can go.
Oh, it's still not entirely zooming in, even if it has the extra real estate.
I'm confused. You want me to do what?
No, nothing more. I was just like, this is where it's the app is utilizing the full window, and it still does not zoom in.
She's gone. I lost her. Oh no! How do you get her back? I pressed escape. Did that make it close?
It's not supposed to, but pony crash.
I love that. It's not supposed to. How do we know if it's still running? This is I feel like you. Oh yay! It did crash. Oh good. Okay, crashed, so good. Well, I was worried that it was hiding somewhere.
You saw it here first, chat room. A developer clapping because she could see a crash report. No, and this is so fundamental. Like as a developer, like if something is not working, we know how to tear our hair apart, and it's like we are frustrated. But it is immensely more frustrating when something is working and you have no idea how, isn't it? Like that's just
like getting that feedback. I was like, I really was happy to see it. Yeah. I've programmed web apps with no framework. Maui plus Blazor be able to work on those docs the same it just did for Alyssa's apps. What? Sam?
Kind of. The docs are coming together. They're not fully baked in yet, but essentially a lot of the the .NET and the native parts of .NET MAUI are essentially brought over from Xamarin Forms. So they are porting those docs over. But it's a starting point. It doesn't have everything, but it is a starting point. Absolutely. Oh, and this is good. Marcus,
Viewport
voice
content with
programmer.
device initial scale 1.0. Where is this? Where is this? Where is this?
So
in my index or in
go
my
into your index HTML place. This is a great idea. Yeah.
Hang on.
Can you change the
viewport.
scaling on the index HTML itself? You can actually now hear my kid.
Hang on. Aw, we'll go soon. I just want to try this one thing and then we'll go.
No,
meta
okay.
name equals viewport. Oh my gosh, if this works, Marcus. Content
so this is a meta tag for the whole app. This is interesting.
With line 7. Line 7. I don't know what you're pointing at. Oh, it's already there.
You already have the line. You already have it. Yeah, just change the scaling.
It's fine. Meta name equals content width equals
How about
device
initial
width.
scale is 2.0? Make that 2.0.
I was trying to see is 1.0, so just say 2 or 2. Okay.
Yeah. Just
wait. But
and
now
then
we
you
have to build. Yeah.
You have to do the full build and
Okay,
drop in the
so
index HTML
I
again.
am here and I'm going to go and do for the love of build. Where's the build? I'll type it in. ng build.
ng build -- prod.
I didn't do prod and it worked, so.
I think that's just the default thing.
Okay. I'm like, I don't know if I need to do that. I am ignoring
I don't think you do. I'm a complete newbie. I have no idea when I'm looking at Angular stuff, so I'm just, explicitly typing everything.
Okay. Is it? It's running. Once it runs, I'm gonna go copy, paste,
and you don't need the whole thing. You can just bring the index HTML file. Well, let's try that. Let's see if that scaling.
Wait. We should need to rebuild. Wait, because I changed this.
Actually, it's a static file. Yeah.
I changed this here, so we don't have to rebuild or paste anything.
No, then you don't.
It
and it's a
static
static file anyways. Yeah.
So
you're good.
I need to go to where and build this one.
Do the Maui app and do a Mac list build and run. Yep.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Sam, what if it works?
See, this is so nice because like when I try Angular or React stuff, like I'm literally scratching the surface. You have a pre-built, nice to look Angular app that you can just.
Oh my god, it worked! Oh my god! Well, kind of. There's a couple of things like this guy who's not, but like it. I think it worked. Look, you guys want to see the drag and drop?
Thank you.
These are the Kendo UI like cards, and this is inside of an expansion panel. And I have this habit of what's it called? Completely butchering components. Yeah, that's what I do.
Pony overload.
I click on this, the skeleton loads in. You can see Pinkie Pie. Oh man, and these
images. I love that skeleton load up. How do you do that?
How do I go back? I don't that's something I need to add to the app for.
Yeah.
Is there a hotkey to go back? Oh, I have a button down here, but I don't think that works.
Yeah, you should have a button. Yeah. There's no app like browser navigation.
So there's a thing called the skeleton component in Kendo UI for Angular, and you can like put in these different shapes,
nice.
and
like
they
as the app is loading up.
Yeah, it's like hold in that place. It was one of my favorite things to play with.
You have it easy because like for Maui, like it's not easy for us to do this, skeleton and then the animations. It just takes quite a bit of code.
Does it? I would love like to do even just like the simplest like a button transition color on hover. Like I'd love to like learn that from you. Can I add that to our to-do list, Sam? Do you know how to do that?
How about I learn it with you?
Okay. Button, what is it? Transition on hover. We're going to do it together on hover. Oh, I can't wait because I can't wait to start mishing and mashing the two together. Like,
yeah. So some history here. So everything is doable in XAML. Like you see that main page XAML, like this is a web view that you're rendering, but you can render all native components, and then each of the native components have a ton of functionality behind them. You can change everything about them in their transition and the animations, but it just, your XAML just grows and grows and grows to a point it's very verbose. So there used to be a tool that is actually separate from Visual Studio. It used to be called Blend, which lets you do a little bit of animated like GUI over XAML animations or transitions, but now it's kind of baked into Visual Studio as well. So yeah.
So I'm going to look into this because this definitely is the right track, but I feel like I need to like also define the viewport because it's like giving us a horizontal scroll now.
Yeah. So it just gives you a starting point. I know nothing about like how it's handling the viewport or any changes. And yes, King of Code, it can do CSS. You can do whatever CSS you want. Like I don't know if you have like a quick style that you can change, but it should be able to pick it up whatever you want.
Oh, not that one. Not that one. For the love of God, not that
one. Don't touch. It's one of those files.
Let me show you real quick. Let's go look at our app. Let's change this background here. It's a gradient. Let's turn it to, I think Tiger in the chat said their favorite color is purple. So let's change it to purple. So we'll go to our Pony Angular application. We're going to open it up, and this one is blue because I've always set it to blue. And here's how I, for those of you who are like new to the web, I, even with applications that I've built, and this is going to be really hard for me to move over to desktop and start doing this for UI stuff. But whenever I am like, oh, I need to change that color, I never remember what components it's in. I never remember like what style sheet it's in. There's no freaking way I remember that. So what I do is I serve it up, and then I go and open up Chrome, and I just use my dev tools to find it. And I feel like that's like not a thing in desktop. And so that's where I'm a little worried because that's my whole world. Like dev tools and being able to like go through the DOM is how I live.
Yes.
So I don't know.
Yes. Okay. So remember the conversation. Who was it in the chat room that talked about Electron? I'm forgetting.
Somebody was asking though, like, yeah, isn't this the same as Electron? Yeah.
Okay. Here's one key difference here. Electron ships with Chromium, the full engine that renders Edge and Chrome. The entire rendering engine is included in your app, which gives it a little bit of a bulk, but had you been running this app on Electron, you can look at things from a DevTools perspective, which you cannot in MAUI because it's literally a web view. It doesn't have the DevTools thing in it. But here's the nice thing, and kind of in line with what Foolish Neville was saying, can we just go try this on Windows now, or Android or iOS? So I'm going to drop in another command here for you, Alyssa. Once you're done making the CSS change, let's try running it somewhere else, because you have the MAUI bits now, so now you should be able to run it on other native things as well.
Sorry, I was seeing if someone was at my door. I don't think anybody's at my door. I'm imagining things. It's fine. Nobody's here. I need to put this color. So CSS is cascading, so I need to put it at the very bottom so that it overrides it. So what I did here originally was I have our background, which is set to the variable of light blue that's shared throughout the application. And then I override that with a background of a linear gradient. But in case linear gradients aren't supported, I have this line to fall back on because that style will be applied initially. And then for our third change of the day, we want to see it go to a solid purple. And we're like, yes, that is sexy. We need to ship that. So we have to go.
Where did you make this change? This was an Angular app?
Yeah, this is inside my Angular app. So
now
I'm
while you're bringing that over, this would actually be a really good test as well to what the chat room is saying. So when you're running this on a Mac, that Blazor web view is essentially a wrapper. It knows how to go to the host OS and ask for a web view. So
hang on, you just talked really, really fast. Can you say all that really? You said it's essentially a wrapper. And then
Blazor web view is a wrapper control. it knows that I'm running on .NET MAUI and I need to render some web stuff. So give me a web view. And it's going to go and ask that from the runtime, which is eventually is going to go and ask it from the OS. So when you're running this on a Mac, you are actually using the Safari, what's the engine? I think it's called, it's called WK Web View. I think that's kind of what Apple calls it. So that is the engine that powers Safari on a Mac. But when you run this on Windows, you are actually using, full schnabel, it's not Edge, it's actually the WebView 2, which is what Edge uses anyways. So yes, full schnabel. So WebKit is what you're going to use if you are on iOS, which we can give this a try on iOS and see if there are any differences. So yeah, it renders whichever WebView it needs for whichever OS that it's on.
It just like made copies. It didn't give me the option of, so I'm just pasting in. Is there a default file that will, what the heck happened to this name? Okay, I think this will work. I hope I didn't.
What are you pasting? I lost you.
I pasted the app, but the Angular app into the .NET MAUI app, but it, instead of giving me the option of replacing or making copies, it just made copies. So I deleted everything in there, but I'm hoping there wasn't like an initial file that wasn't copied over that we left in there that needed to be in there, is what I'm hoping, because I kind of deleted everything. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, probably.
Is there?
But while you're on this, like try an iOS build, just to see, your little pony app on iOS.
An iOS
see this command. So
change Mac Catalyst to iOS.
Yeah.
But is there like more to it than just iOS?
Nothing. Just nothing else. That's all.
This is terrifying, Sam.
So it's going to either pull up your iPhone or your iPad simulator. See, we are making you a native developer now. Isn't this good?
How do we know which one it's going to pull up?
You can control that. It's a setting.
Oh, it's a setting. Who is she? Okay. I'm excited. Is it? I think it's happening.
It's building. Okay, and while it's doing that, Full Schnabel is asking, can I use, I think if it's Firefox? Hey, Curious Tribe, good to see you as well. Okay, so I want to say yes and no, because you see this like Blazor WebView thing that you're doing here for .NET MAUI. You don't actually explicitly have to do this. If you are running this on Windows, you can actually straight away render this inside of a WebView 2, which is essentially the WebView that it's rendering on Windows. And I think, no, I don't think there's a way to use Firefox easily, because like instead of writing the Blazor WebView here, I can actually write WebView 2 if I know that I have the WebView NuGet package in, and if I'm only running on Windows, because that's a Windows only thing. But I don't know if Firefox has like a NuGet package that offers up a web browser component, because that's what we'll have to bring in. And then you have to be very specific as to where you run, Mac or Windows. What did you do, Alyssa? I see a whole bunch of red.
Yeah, I think my fear was correct that there was an initial file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my desktop and I'm going to make a .NET new MAUI Blazor project. Oh, wait, make dir delete me and then go inside of delete me. And then I'm going to make a .NET new MAUI Blazor. And then I'm going to go see, perfect. And I'm going to go see, I want to see what is inside of root, because I feel like I blew away something that should have been there. Favicon index CSS file, nothing. What?
Nothing else. No, that's it.
I don't. Okay, well.
So drop in your Angular files again. Is just blow away the index or just rewrite it.
Okay, let's do it. So we'll go back to my. This is my MAUI Blazor, MAUI wrapper. Oh, I was in the wrong one. Wait, no, I'm not. My Little Pony, www root, delete, move all.
Wait, is this built though? Because why are you just grabbing it out of www root? Because it's not fully built. You need out of your distribution folder. Is that your distribution folder? Your www root here? Did you do an ng build on this?
Yes. No.
Okay.
No. Yes.
It has to be an ng build.
Hang on. Let me double check. Heroes. Nope. You. Yep. I ran a build, and then once the build was done, yep. This is the build being.
Where is it dropping the things? Is it in www or is it in a dist folder?
Oh, it dropped. It was just over in its project inside of dist.
Yeah, that's what you want to grab. Yep.
Copy. I don't know what I grabbed. Move to trash. Paste. See, I don't have a CSS folder. Does that matter?
No.
Are you sure? Like, it's not going to yell at us? Like, that's not the reason it's yelling?
No, as long as... Because you had it working before. As long as you have everything referenced, then it should be good.
Okay.
Kira's Drive,
so I'm wondering if this is an iOS thing. I'm going to try to build real quick for...
do it on Mac.
Catalyst.
While you're doing that, no, Kira's Drive, I don't think Microsoft recommends we use MAUI check anymore because it conflicts with the way .NET workloads are installed by the workload installer. I see Alyssa dancing. What did you successfully do? Oh, you changed the CSS, the styles. Yeah, well done.
But I don't have iOS capabilities is what I was learning. So I'm going to add this to my list because I want to be able to build for everything. And I think that's going to have to be a call with you of like you teaching me what the heck I'm doing wrong. So because Mac Catalyst is the only one I've ever been able to like successfully do.
Yeah. Well, it depends. Like you may not have, the iOS SDKs because otherwise like MAUI bits are not different. It's the same runtime, same SDK. It's multi-targeted. So like on the CS proj, you see those different targets that we have. So you don't have to change anything about your app. This is your Angular app. Go to the CS, go to the MAUI app for a second in VS Code. And then look at the CS proj file, which is further down in your Solution Explorer.
Proj file.
Yep, that one. You see those the target frameworks? That's where it's coming. So you have Windows, kind of awkward way, and then you have iOS, you have Android, and you have Mac Catalyst. So it's the same project.
You have Windows in a kind of awkward way. Rude.
It's because of long story. Windows is in a different place with Windows App SDK and WinUI, and so there are some dependencies in how you run it on Windows. So,
dude,
long story.
Sam, this was so like I'm so just mind blown at like how did you use MAUI check? Is that a real thing or is he making something up?
No, it was a real thing, and I think you still can, but it might overwrite some files. So I think from Microsoft, the official way is use workload installs going forward, because MAUI check essentially does the same things. It just does a check on all the things, gets you the right workloads, but now it's just workload installs.
What are they saying? Someone was saying you need to do element.hover. Do you know what they're talking about? Then just do
in
hover.
CSS. Yeah.
Oh, right. No, see, okay. Whenever I was saying that for Sam to come on next time and we're going to do a button hover chart. So I am learning .NET. So I want to learn how to do that in a MAUI app for desktop. Like I want to learn how to do, like, I don't want to do it. Obviously I could do it in the CSS. Like I know how to do it in CSS.
You're assuming that I know how to do that in a MAUI app.
I'm so excited. And then you're all like, but you're inside of a web view in doing CSS. Yes, I know. I'm going to do something called blasphemy, and I'm going to mix and match and have like buttons like around, like in the wrapper, like around the wrappering part, and they're like MAUI desktop-y buttons, and they're doing things, and then we'll eventually get to the interop-y part, right, where they're talking to each other. I know it's probably disgusting to most of you, but it's just so exciting to me. I cannot wait. Like, this is awesome. Sam, we're gonna learn it together. Let's do some button hovers. Thank you so much for this. It was so much fun. Wait, who can we raid? Can you tell me? You want to tell me? Anybody? Who do we want to raid?
I don't have my usual folks. AWS is doing something. I don't know what.
Aus. All right, we're doing aus unless chat says differently.
Blasphemous stream. Yeah, when you have .NET and JavaScript talking to each other, like the internet wires, they just like melt.
I love it though. This has been so much fun.
Yeah.
Is it just at AWS, Sam?
Yeah, I think so.
Let's try it. Let's try to queue up that raid and see if it's a real deal.
All right, so King of Cards, Map UK, JLitter, Curious Drive, Full Schnabel, and everybody else who kind of hung out with us. Marcus, well, Marcus was the one who pointed out the viewport thing. Thank you.
They are offline. So we are going to raid Lana Lux because she's doing some software.
Oh, okay.
Software dev. But thank you all for hanging out and for your really kind and interesting chats. Lana_Lux. I think that's how you spell it. Oh, this is the fun part of raids. You gotta spell properly, right? Like, who does that? Let's give Lana lots of love. Alliteration. For the win. Invalid username. Yeah. Just why? Just why though? Ugh. All right, last time. I love you all, but I don't even. Do caps matter? Is that why it's angry? Bye, Schmab. Bye, Thindle. Sam, do you know what I'm doing wrong?
No.
You're like, no, I do not. Yeah, Lana. That's how I spelled it. Maybe you don't do an @ and I just like totally spaced. The raid's been created. Yeah, it's because I was doing an @ I learned. Give her some love and some emojis in the chat, and we'll be on. I'll wrestle Sam into another episode where we can dive deeper into some more .NET MAUI Blazor JavaScript Angular blasphemy. So it's gonna be awesome. All right, bye everybody.
All right, bye.